So this 2000 F-150 is here today for a running rough problem. Customer feels that it's misfiring. I drove it. It's definitely got a miss. MIL is illuminated, but it's not flashing. It's a 5.4 with 115,000 kilometers on it. Regular cab, 4x4, but regular cab long box, which is pretty rare. And again, a 2000, so it's getting on in age. I suspect it's going to have a failed coil, but we'll have a look at scan data. So I've scanned it, and there are a bunch of codes in the GEM module for accessory delay, window problems. Actually, this has got crank down windows. That's interesting, and it's got a left front window, one touch down relay circuit fault when it has crank down windows, manual windows. Not overly concerned about this stuff. Low battery voltage. This vehicle is not currently on the road. It's from a used car lot. So this oil pressure switch fault is a secondary issue. P1000, so the battery's been recently disconnected or the code's been recently cleared. And the P0308 code is what we're seeing here as the actual problem. So we're going to start it and have a look at misfire counters. So these older Fords did not support misfire counters very well. So test ID 53 on the pre-can Fords would give you misfire monitors, and over the last 10 drive cycles. This vehicle was driven about 30 kilometers to get here. So max 983, value. There we go. So it's counted 8,151 misfires on cylinder number 8. So we're going to have a look at live data, cylinder contribution. So we're going to use the Snap-on cylinder contribution test to confirm it is actually number 8 cylinder. Number 8 cylinder is the rear cylinder on the driver's side, and it's probably, like I said, a bad ignition coil, but we're going to make sure it's number 8 that's actually got the misfire. So I'm going to use this test right here. I'll start it up in a sec. So you can see the negative number on number 8. There's number 8 cylinder here, showing negative 27. So I'm going to disconnect number 8 ignition coil and make sure it's that cylinder that has the problem. Disconnect the number 8 coil, and I also disconnect the number 6 just for the heck of it. So that one should have showed misfires. Or no, number 7, sorry. There's number 7 over here. So let's pause this and see if it actually did record misfires on number 7. Yeah, so it did. So it is number 8 cylinder. We'll have a look at that coil. So there's the coil out of number 8. You want to look at the boot, make sure there's no tears, burn marks in it. There's no carbon tracking inside the boot. That coil is right back there. It's probably the hardest one to get at, especially on this model because of the return lines and the EGR tubes and stuff. It's very congested back there. So we're going to plug this coil in and put a spark tester in it and start it up and see if we've got spark on it. Spark tester installed, obviously no spark. I'm going to try adjusting the spark tester in, see if I have a weak spark. prefer this adjustable spark tester because it allows you to check for quality spark. This gap, which is about as wide as my finger, about 3/4 of an inch, 19 millimeters, is equivalent to about 30,000 volts, and that's what is required typically to jump the gap under compression. But you can also adjust this one down. It can be used on point ignition systems as well, and that'll help you determine if you have weak spark, because weak spark from a coil is probably 99% likely a failed coil. No spark from the coil could be the coil, but it could also be the primary control circuits as well. So we're going to install this previously enjoyed ignition coil in this spot and see if that corrects the miss. Maybe we should have a look at the plug too. So no more misfires being counted. Plug didn't look too bad, considering I think when it detects a misfire on number 8 like that, it might shut off the injector, which minimizes the contamination of the plug. So now we'll just check to see why it's got such a horrendous exhaust leak.